my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a past the doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the game. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try to catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom, boom. Major look.
Once again, thanks for tuning in. You're listening to World Combat Sports. What's good, everyone? Salute. Blacks in Boxing. Doing it. I know I'm extremely late, but I want to give a salute to the WCS supporters and those of you that's been, praying for my mom. I've been in the hospital with my mom for the last several days. So I've been going through it with her. I'm about to head back out there. I just took a brief moment, to relief and take care of some stuff. But I had to drop through because it's probably going to be, a good minute before I'm able to hop back on here. But, appreciate everyone who was looking out and giving well wishes and prayers to my mom, who was, is in a bad way, trying to recover her age from what she, has going on with it. I appreciate you. Real talk. It's a lot of boxing talk. The red, black, and green, man. That's gonna be my colors. You know what I'm saying? Blacks and boxing is not anything like, that I have to ask permission about. I just felt like, you don't have any type of media out here that can wave a flag that represents Black Americans. You know what I'm saying? It's African American, it's Black American, it's this, that, and the other. I'm saying to myself, well, I'm gonna do my thing, and I'm gonna take 3 colors from that. I'm gonna go with the red, black, and green, and it's just like it's really just to represent boxing in general, but also to represent the Black fighters that's in the sport too. Don't mean I support anything less than what I did before. I just feel like when I see all this, Latino this, Hispanic that, I say, that's great. I see them always walking up to the weigh-ins and stuff like that with the flag and everything. You know what I'm saying? Neighboring boxers coming here with their flag and stuff like that. But see, we can't do that. We don't have a flag. We don't have colors except the red, white, and blue. But yet, it's much deeper than the red, white, and blue. So that's why you see, pretty much the thumbnail that you got right there. That's the representation of it all. So if you get offended, so be it. It's all good. Michael Lewis, what's good? OG, peace to you. I hope that you are doing all right and your mom's recover. I appreciate that, OG, for real. It's been tough, man. It's been seriously tough. I'm not going to lie to you. It's been extremely tough. Just had to take a little break out the funk, and talk about some of the current issues that's been going on in boxing. I heard that somehow, some way, Pacquiao is fighting Errol Spence, which how I've been about Errol Spence. And I also said this back in the day. I said it, several months ago. I said, well, You know, the only logical decision in my mind is that Pacquiao fight Errol Spence as the WBA super champion. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. So, being that the WBA handed back Franchise Cruz Dezern her title before the WBC did, when her opponent Alejandro Jimenez, tested positive, the WBA did the right thing. They said, "Here, here's your title. We're gonna do the right thing." So I always had in the back of my mind, I think they're gonna do the right thing with making this fight with Pacquiao Errol Spence if it happens. I believe they are. I believe they're gonna reinstate Pacquiao. Forget what you're talking about with your Dinas Ugas. Reinstate Pacquiao and fight. This really has nothing to do with Terrence Crawford conversation for me, because I'm still a Bud fan. I'm just saying this has everything to do with the promoter who can make the fight, the ones who making moves. And right now, if Errol Spence unified the WBC and IBF World Unified Champion in the welterweight division, is going to face Manny Pacquiao, and they reinstate him to full champion, that'd be awesome. I'm all for the fight. I'm all for it. My big question is to you all: will Errol Spence get credit for Pacquiao? You know, Pacquiao 62 victories, 7 defeats. Will Errol Spence get full credit from Pacquiao? Is the residue or the energy for when he was able to shine that night against a younger Keith Thurman, drop him once in the fight and go the distance and win his WBA title? Is that enough, being out the ring as long as he has, to come back and have people give him credit for stepping in there with Errol Spence as if he really got a chance? Does Pacquiao really have a chance to defeat Errol Spence at his age? That's all I'm saying, man. Like, we always hear people always got to throw in, oh, he's 8 division, he's a legend. We know that he's a boxing legend. We totally understand, and we couple all that together. It's like a goddamn 8-year kaleidoscope up in this mother. We know the achievements that Manny Pacquiao has been able to accomplish. But when it comes to Errol Spence, if he goes in there and one man, Pac-Man, down to the Kanban, and the ref is count 10, will you give him credit? If Errol Spence, one man, Pac-Man to the Kanban, and the referee is counting, will you give him credit for stopping Pacquiao, as old as he is? Let me know. Do he get credit for it? This is my thought process on whether he get credit for it or not. Though Pacquiao, one of his biggest wins was back in 2019, right? Had to give me some agua. And he's been out the ring since July 2019 to now. And, you know, I contemplate this and I say, does he get full credit for older Pacquiao? You know what I'm saying? Coming off that win with Keith Thurman. Does he get full credit? And I can't sit up here and cut the lights off on Errol Spence because he's being able to step in the ring for a possible 3rd divisional title and then a step closer to unifying the welterweight division. So I have to give him his props on that. Like, I can't sit up here and cut the lights out and say he don't get no credit for fighting the older Pacquiao. I have to give him credit. I truly do. I have to give him credit because he went in there and he was able to box Keith Thurman. Even though I told you all before, Keith Thurman was on some shit. He was on some bullshit. A lot of me saying 75% of his damn mental state was still on top of the hill playing vuvuzela. He really quite wasn't committed back to the ring as a boxer as one time. But Pacquiao got the shit done. So if Errol Spence is going to be able to fight Pac, especially with that WBA title, I got to give him credit. Just like I had to give Deontay Wilder credit for Luis Ortiz. The man was undefeated. His only 2 defeats is freaking Deontay Wilder. So, but Pacquiao being, the fighter he is, coming off a victory over Keith Thurman, at his age, you have to give Errol Spence credit. Third, Errol Spence is going to have a legend on his record. You know what I'm saying? You have to give him a salute to that. He's going to have a legend on his record. He get to fight for the 3rd divisional title. And plus, he's one step to unifying the division. You got to give him a salute to that. You can't cut the lights off on him when it comes to giving him credit. You can't. I think it's selfish, especially Pacquiao coming off that win back in 2019. So at the end of the day, it's all about if Pacquiao looks like goddamn Uncle Sam or he's competitive in there. That's the big deal we want to see. Because people thinking that, stylistically, Errol Spence will match up real nice with Pacquiao. But between the two boxers, Pacquiao's a better boxer than Errol Spence. Period. We can compliment Errol on his jab and everything else. But this Manny Pacquiao we talking about. Manny Pacquiao is a better boxer than Errol Spence. There's no way around that. He is a better boxer than Errol Spence. When it comes to youth being on Errol Spence's side, you know what I'm saying? That grit, that determination, durability, that gas tank to keep on pushing and testing Manny Pacquiao's limits, because he does have limits right now. He's older. He has tread. This man has tread all over the place. Like I said, in boxing years, Manny's about 58 and a half years old. He is in boxing years. I'm just curious to how, if Errol Spence put that heat on him, and how many rounds is Pacquiao going to be able to, refute or stabilize the resistance before he starts to really slow down and those old man legs, those big ass calves become cylinders, cinder blocks in water. That's what I want to know, because Manny has some big ass calves, man. I want to know how many rounds it's going to take before his legs start to get heavy. And we see that Jeff Horn Pacquiao. And then he started to not move around as much. It's a big possibility that Errol Spence can earn a TKO. It's real. I'm talking about, it's real promising that Errol Spence can go in there and stop Pacquiao. Now you're probably saying to yourself, he didn't stop Mikey Garcia. I get it. I totally understand what you're saying. He didn't stop Mikey Garcia. He didn't stop Danny Garcia. He didn't stop now Sean Porter. I get it. But one thing you have to put into consideration is that Pacquiao is not a Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia, a Sean Porter. Pacquiao, at this stage in his lifetime, when it comes to boxing, the man has tremendous amount of tread. He has miles on his body, wear and tear. And I'm curious to see if he's going to be able to hold up like he did against Keith Thurman with the pressure Errol Spence is going to put on him. That's a big question for me, man. Mike said, I think this is a payday, possibly. Great fight. Errol would get shade if he wins because of Manny's age. If Spence lose, he would be a meme. Alexander in the building. Salute, man. Manny is a legend regardless, so to win or lose. Maybe just has to happen for us to get the Spence versus Crawford fight. I guess so. I guess this is going to be the step in between for potentially that fantasy fight people have been talking about. There's no need for me to really mention it. because I don't know what Terrence Crawford has going on. I still see the Bob Arum shit going out there. They say, "Oh, we can't get this amount of fans in, and we can't get that." And Errol Spence is about to fight Manny Pacquiao with fans. It's just all bad. It's just all bad for Bud right now. And I'm still fucking with Bud though. It's all bad for him though. Seriously, it's just all bad for Bud not being able to get these fights because there are so many fighters with butts in the seats that has a live gate. And and Bob Arum was just up here talking about, you know, he can't, the fight won't sell. Terrence, he's not even giving him any type of opportunity. He's not even giving him a chance. He's just shutting all the motherfucking lights down. When that happens, that means it's time for you to motherfucking go. You need to find the light. You know how you see that light in the crack of the door? You cut all the lights off. You say, okay, where the exit at? You see that little, the little light from the outside, from that security light. Terrence Crawford need to go for that security light and exit the building quickly. I meant asterisk or acknowledge the support in my 2 minute 53 comment autocorrect. Yeah, man. This ain't college, man. We know how it go. People driving, they in the gym, man. They walking. We know how it is. Alex in the building. Salute, man. Salute to WCS in the chat. Yo, Pac-Man not playing the 60-40, 70-40 BS. Not avoiding any smoke. Still making big fights happen at 42. Respect to Manny and Spence. I agree with you on that, Alex. And salute to Alex in the building. I agree with you on that to a point where Manny is in a position where he doesn't have to deal with that type of language. They're not going to sit up there and throw that 70-30 at him. They're not going to do that with Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao has a name. Manny Pacquiao he's been had a brand. Manny Pacquiao isn't Terrence Crawford when we're talking about boxing legends in the sport. So definitely Manny Pacquiao ain't talking about no damn 70-30, no 60-40. No, hell no. But I'm glad this fight is going down in August. We have a heavy PBC lineup to basically, open the curtains on the back end of this 2021 semester. I like what I'm seeing so far. Just one of those fights is Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. Look forward to seeing that. Also, we have the mandatory fight. It's coming up June 19th. Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos, Triller. Shout out to Triller, doing big things. A lot of people was talking to me and saying, man, what now? What now, man? Jake Paul left. I said, man, I don't give a fuck where Jake Paul went. If he went over to Showtime, that means they have a plan for him. And believe it or not, Jake Paul has amateur boxing experience a bit, and they're going to grow him off that. They're going to put him in there with some pretty decent soft touches, probably more so wet Charmin soft, and let him get some wins and let him get some victories and show out a little bit on Showtime. That's the only thing I can think about. Anyway, moving on. It's been a lot out there to be said about me speaking on this a while ago. Once again, did I not tell you that when it comes down to Anthony Joshua attempting to keep his belts, that he may indeed let go of one of them just so he wouldn't be the sole proprietor to be able to face the WBC champion? I truly believe in his heart of hearts, people, that Anthony Joshua in this trilogy, he believes Deontay Wilder is going to get his belt back. I hear all this talk down with Usyk. Oh, we might just go ahead and drop this belt. We might go ahead and drop this belt. Check this out. Let me read the article right quick. Arum has no confidence in Crawford. Just crazy. Where's the article that I want you all to read? But basically, what I was saying is they're trying to insert other names into the equation, names like Dillian White. You remember when I was telling you all why Dillian White has not requested to fight Anthony Joshua again? Because the first time he fought Anthony Joshua, it wasn't for a belt, and he was knocked out in the 7th round. You know, I always said, why are you in the UK? Why are you a citizen over there? And you're not hounding Eddie Hearns to fight Anthony Joshua, who's a unified champion. Now that Alexander Usyk is on deck, they're talking about potentially dropping that belt and Anthony Joshua facing somebody else, just to kind of keep the name going. And then, I read this article where they say, oh, he drops the belt to Alexander Usyk. He can always pick it up later. It's that easy? I mean, because I was talking about shit like this. And I'm getting inbox messages. Listen to me now. I'm getting inbox messages with people sitting up here saying I'm prognosticating fixed fights, right? So I'm reading this article about Anthony Joshua dropping his belt and having no problem coming back around and picking it up later. That's the same shit I'm talking about. The whole point in allowing Alexander Usyk, if he is able to get a hold of that belt, is the fact that he can pick it up, hold it for a little bit. Now he becomes a heavyweight champion. And Anthony Joshua, wherever he got going on, I'm not sure how many belts he's going to have. Let's just say he dropped that belt, comes back around and picks it up. They're going to say, oh, here we go again. Anthony Joshua is a 6-time world champion. Anthony Joshua is they just always, he's an 8-time world champion. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be an easy way for him to just continue to layer his achievements easily through manufacturing. Easy through manufacturing. That is Anthony Joshua's entire career. Anyway, moving on to Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. This is the huge part of it. Now you have Tyson Fury going at Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. Not too long ago, Anthony Joshua was sitting up here hoping to be the next in line to get that nice, wet Gypsy King motherfucking kiss from Tyson Fury. Like they was really jerking one another off in the media. If you need any help training for Deontay Wilder, let me know, Tyson. Or better known as Tice. Just let me know. I'll help you out. I'm Anthony. I'm AJ. Help me help you. So they was all there kissing each other, ass and shit, because they thought they was really going to get this fight. But now all of a sudden, AJ is calling Tyson Fury a fraud. Tyson Fury calling people bitch. The same defamatory language that is used to demasculize the weak. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying to myself, man, we heard this song and dance all the time. But what I can't understand, y'all help me understand this. What I can't understand is if Deontay Wilder signed the contract before Tyson Fury, and then Tyson Fury came around and signed after him, why is Tyson Fury having all this airtime? Not only is he getting airtime, he's being extremely unprofessional. King Mitch in the building. Salute. Retro for Life 79 Boxing in the building. Salute, fellas. What's good, my brothers? Why is that the case? They're giving him so much airtime. He's up there saying, bitch this, bitch that. Okay, we get it. They love hearing Tyson Fury talk. But one thing I despise about them is that Tyson Fury is running around here being the absolute goofball he is. And then they'll turn around and say, yeah, you was battling mental health and all that. I mean, where did the mental health? Any documentation to support that? Who is his therapist? How long was he in counseling? Do we know what medication he was on besides pads? And that white fluffy powder? Do we know what type of damn medicine he was on? At any time, was he administered Norcan? No. I'm just curious as to why mental illness is being tossed around here so easily for these fighters. But yet, the only time it is presented to Deontay Wilder is when he's not saying anything to the public. He gets so-called punished in a fight with Deontay Wilder, and they place that mental health tag on him in a way to say, "Oh my God, it's deleterious to anybody and anyone who is a fan of Deontay Wilder. He's clinically depressed. He's in the worst place ever. He's in a darkened state. So you need to understand how much of a darkened state Deontay in. That's what I don't like. They hit Tyson Fury with it as if he should be praised, serenaded, and then when it comes to Wilder, it's almost like, oh, let's castigate the shit out of him. Find any defamatory remarks that we can and say the man will never box again. But you know what I can tell you is that it looks real good to see the Allegiant Stadium. Allegiant Stadium, y'all, being the premier stomping grounds for this trilogy to go into the record books. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury have access to Allegiant Stadium. In July, that area of the boxing footprint over there in Vegas is going to be at a whole nother high when it comes to boxing excitement. The glam, the glitz, the glory, that shit's all going to be on that weekend. And like I asked you all before, y'all need to show up. You know, especially the YouTubers that's on here kicking this media. It'd be good for most of, a lot of us to show up. So it can be some communication. And then we came out to support the Bronze Bomber. Not everybody's there to support the Bronze Bomber. I'm speaking because I'm over here in America. I'm over here in the US of A. That's who I'm supporting, period. So if you dare supporting Tyson Fury, so be it. Wear a Tyson Fury shirt. But I'm just saying, we need to show up, show out, and cheer on the champ because it's going down. It's official. Bob Arum had to go take some Geritol and goddamn clean himself out after he announced that news. That shit sucked. But shit is going down. It's gonna be history. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna really set that damn grid square on fire in July. I mean, this is absolutely personal. I truly believe a fighter is getting knocked out by the name of Tice. I just found out, I heard one of his family, hey Tice. I truly believe Tyson Fury is getting knocked out this time. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna assume it's not gonna be a Jack Reese in there. Hope to God it's not a Kenny Bayless. I don't think it's gonna be a Kenny Bayless in there. And on God in them, I hope Lawrence Cole ain't in there. On God in them, for the hood, I hope Lawrence Cole is not the referee. I just hope it's a referee in there that can let these guys fight and get the job done for 12 rounds. If they're engaging and it's heavy contact, let the contact happen. Let the incoming fire happen. Let them lay as they lie. Let us see a fight. We don't want this Soto Takayama shit. We don't want to be watching a damn good fight and mentally invested, core tight, zoomed in, and then all of a sudden a ref steps in and waves the fight off just because a couple of combinations landed. I don't want to see no controversy to the point where boxing rears its ugly head again and find a way for this fight to be stopped under false pretenses. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to hear none of that shit, bro. Honestly, this fight better not go the distance. If Manny wins, it will be because he rushes Spence early like he did Thurman. If Spence wins, it's cause he was ready for it and he sleeps Manny in 6 or 7 rounds. Well, I look at it this way. If Pacquiao want to rush Spence while he's fresh, a lot of people have rushed Spence. So I'm pretty sure I'm giving Spencer the BOD, the benefit of the doubt, that he's able to, repel that attack, that early attack from Manny Pacquiao, and still come out to the point where we're talking about third or fourth round, start getting into his groove. You know what I'm saying? Because the early rounds is going to be Manny's, quickest. He's going to look as sharpest in those early rounds. He's going to be bouncing around. Those calves are going to be fresh. All that shit. But once again, the Manny coming there, and his right, his right calf is functioning good, but his left calf has a kickstand sticking out of it. Then he's gonna have a problem. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have a problem. Spencer's gonna make sure he break his ass down. 79 Boxing say them complexion protection, loving that walking disaster. He doesn't exemplify what a true champion is, but they tried to assassinate all what Wilder presented. Yes, sir. We have to understand what the process is. That's all. We truly have to understand what the process has been for a long time, and we have to really start speaking up about it when it comes down to the core. When it comes down to the core of a lot of stuff that's been going on with Wilder is racism in the sport. Period. It's racism. It has nothing to do with a race card. It has a lot to do with racism. Okay, racism can come from many different areas. It can bleed over from many different circumstances. But the hatred and vitriol that's been shown, it has a lot to do with that. And that's why I said, we need the color. We need the color flag. This is gonna be mine right here. I'm gonna get my logo changed, to the red, black, and green. Everything. That's gonna be my color. This is gonna be my color because I can. Tyson Fury's so-called mental illness is a Coke and Pad edition, simple and plain. Real talk, shawty. Real talk there, Mike. Real talk. I don't gather. You know how you hear people say, I keep it a buck, I keep it 100, I keep it real. And I'm saying to myself, I don't see a lot of you all. No, I won't say a lot. I don't see the ones who I would assume that would have kept it real. I don't see them keeping it real, the same energy. Because now that the fight is on, it's been announced, it's been official. If you was hating before, I would expect you to continue to hate. I would want you to sit up here and say, well, fuck it. He won arbitration. I'm going for Fury. Keep that type of hate. Seriously. It's no motherfucking affirmative action here. If your motherfucking ass was up here dogging Wilder out, well, continue to do that. Just go for Fury and make thumbnails and give examples, have people talk up the fight on how it can potentially play out. Don't try to stride back over here. You know what I'm saying? With the string hanging out. I'm saying don't try to come back over here and say, I wasn't in my right frame of mind. I apologize. What was I thinking? No, he's about to shock the world, man. Deontay's about to shock the world. And it's a lot of people in this YouTube community is changing up their tune because they truly believe, I really, deep down inside, they truly believe nothing was going to become of this trilogy fight. And salute to the justice system. Salute to the judge who gavelled the decision. Salute to the adjudicator. Salute to boxing having some justice for once. Salute to Deontay Wilder for standing in that square as long as he did, advocating for himself, fighting for boxing, and being able to give us a thriller in 2021 as we continue to spin ourselves out of this COVID. Salute to him, man. I gotta commend him. He's putting out training videos now with Malik Scott. What more do you want from him? Just like Tyree said, what more do you want from me? You wanted me to talk, I talk. Then you took my words and said what you said. Then I come back around. I start putting training videos out. Before that, he was just putting slight messages. People, yeah, pro-black. No, it's pro-black, blah, blah, blah. He wearing African uniform, and you got Francis Ngannou and all that. Talking about, you don't deserve. See, Francis, that's why I have the colors I do. Because you prove to me, just like I told my listeners, that Africans, Haitians, Nigerians is some of the meanest people that I experienced in my military career and in life, that would hate on blacks with no hesitation. When somebody tell you cannot wear certain colors, but yet they saying our ancestry is of such, you're basically saying, oh, I'm from the mud. You're not. No, mud exists where Francis was born, where Deontay Wilder was born, where I was born. It's some type of hood life was there. It may be a different type of culture, cool. But when it comes down telling us, oh man, you can't wear that color, that's just like going into the Mexican box community and tell them they can't wear the flag. You get the Areola Ruiz effect. Ready on the left, ready on the right. You may commence punching one another when we sound the horn. Motherfuckers damn throwing punches and shit. I'm like, damn, they beating women up, punching dudes. They don't have nowhere to go because the tunnel is right there. It's wild. Go back to the topic. Can't miss it. I got Spence by split decision. Some judges go off the rails and score for Pac-Man. Can't really see a stoppage or a KO. Rarely happens when top welterweights fight. Is Pac-Man still a top? I agree with that backhand. Rarely happens when welterweight fight. I'm not saying like we just don't have two average welterweights, Mitch. When it comes down to Pacquiao's age, there is some antiquation there. There is some elder. There is some tread, on his bones and muscles and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I just take that into consideration. That's all I'm saying. I take that in consideration that Manny Pacquiao is an 8 division champion, man. He's been knocked out several times in his career. I mean, it has to be some shit wrong, man. It has to be some parts of his cranial cap that's not firing off once you do the CT scan. Seriously, man. Seriously, there are some colors that are not being depicted. Old than the fuck, but he's still a dog. Manny Pacquiao's still a dog. Absolutely, he's still a dog, man. He's still reputable. Manny Pacquiao still has value in this motherfucker. Facts, WCS. August is going to be fire. Wilder should stop Fury for sure. And don't forget about the fight in the UFC between Ngannou and my boy Derek Lewis. Do you give Lewis any chance of winning? He won the first time. He's going the first time. So if you're talking about who changed up their game more, we'll have to see. But Derek Lewis already beat Ngannou. It's just he wasn't able to get to the title first. Michael Lewis, that age has to be considered nigga 42, crazy dog. Him though, credit for even taking the fight. True. But you know what it is. Andrew Charles in the building. Salute, man. It's good, my brother. I can see Manny surprising Spence doing his rush during the early rounds. That's why I want to see the fight. But honestly, Spence should stop Manny. I wouldn't risk trusting the judges, to be honest, if I'm EJ. I'm pretty sure it don't matter what the judge is going to be with Manny Pacquiao. I truly believe that Manny Pacquiao is on his way out the door. Manny Pacquiao has plans on an itinerary as a politician of the Philippines. So being that he have those plans already, I don't see the judges screwing Errol Spence over like that. But look, it'll be an amazing inside job, wouldn't it? It'll be an amazing inside job once again. Boxing shows up and shows his ugly face. If Manny Pacquiao screws over Errol Spence from the judges' scorecards, I don't know if it's a rematch in that motherfucker. But can you imagine Pacquiao going over to fight Terrence Crawford? Pacquiao gets two big paydays. He get Errol Spence, he get Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford beats Pacquiao, and then he can still fight Errol Spence. Why? Because there's still big names in the sport. No one else in the welterweight division is going to get that shot at the damn unified titles. Jerome Ennis is not. Virgil Ortiz is not. Danny Garcia isn't. Keith Thurman, no. Sean Porter, no. I would just think we would have to keep it in between those guys. You know, the Errol Spence. Let Manny Pacquiao lose belts to Terrence Crawford and allow Terrence Crawford to face Errol Spence because they never fought each other. Anyway, I'm just speaking hypothetically, of course. A Jogba too. Stop it. Stop it. Stop putting the Jogba's name in here just because he changed promotions. Stop it, 79. Stop it, bro. A Jogba has a lot of work to do. That dude that he knocked out last time was no different than Deontay Wilder knocking the shit out of Dominique Brazil. He gave Dominique Brazil a motherfucking transparent organ donation. Y'all didn't see his organ leave his body, but it did. Pac-Man got touched frequently by Thurman late in that fight. Spence could get the stoppage considering how he attacks the body all fight. Can Spence attack Manny Pacquiao's body? Because Manny Pacquiao would touch Spence. Look, Spence can be hit. Let's get that clear. If Spence is going to the body, Pacquiao is going up top. Or Pacquiao will return the favor to the body. Period. Come on, man. How many times have we seen Manny Pacquiao go down from a body shot? So therefore, let me ask you the second question. How many fighters have you seen Spence put down from body shots? Was it Mikey? Was it Danny? Was it Sean? Sean was a left hook up top, right? Was it Kell Brook? Cumulative damage, right? Who was it? Campo? 1-2 up top, right? Who was it? So therefore, I don't see no body work, being a one-quitter hitter. But I can say this about what Mitch said. Yes, breaking them down, 6, 7. I think if the stoppage is going to happen, it's going to be around 9th round when Manny Pacquiao starts to fatigue. And you know what I'm saying? And that motherfucking Metamucil start dripping out Manny Pacquiao's ears and shit in his nose. Because he got all that fiber. He put all that fiber in his body before he stepped in the ring. I feel good. I took my Metamucil. This is gonna be easy. This is gonna be easy for me. I'm good. I'm feeling. He cannot do anything with me. I'm Man Pac-Man. I'm Pac-Man. Man Pacquiao. What up, world? What's good, D Hodges? Michael Lewis say boxing is a ugly sport. Now you feel me, Scott? That's exactly what I was thinking. Boxing can rear its ugly face at any time. We just seen it with Lawrence Cole. Lawrence Cole blatantly stopped the Takayama fight just so they can get on with the other main event festivities to host Canelo Alvarez against Billy Joe Saunders. You cannot tell me that shit was not blatant disrespect. The fight fans that was there, they was probably looking at that fight like, damn, this is what we pretty much was, thinking about when Angelo, Leo, and Stephen Fulton fought. It was an action-packed fight. Then Lawrence Cole steps in there for no damn reason and stops the motherfucker. Just deprived the boxing fans of a satisfaction when it comes to going to the final bell. Just close it out. Say, oh, we don't give a damn what the fans think. Who cares? We don't. I don't care. No, I'm talking about how a Jogba came out attacking Wilder because of him dressing. Okay, yeah. In that West African warrior attire in that photo. You're right. You're right, 79. He did. A Jogba. I believe Francis Ngannou said some shit too. You know what I'm saying? And listen, those brothers, I understand they from a different place than from which I grew up, but you know we cannot negate the fact that they're always talking about how we have African ancestry. You know how bloodline, how African is in a lot of people. You know, a lot of people family tree and the DNA and the genealogy. You know, they always talk about that shit, but yet they let colors decide. We wear red, we can wear black, and sometimes green. It depends on what type of outfit we talking about. But if you get a specific looking garb, it shouldn't be an issue for a Jogba to sit up here and say, oh man, you shouldn't be wearing that. Deontay Wilder would change your entire vision there, Jogba. He will exchange and rearrange your entire mannerisms. You fight Deontay Wilder right now, Jogba. He changes your life, period. You walk in Walmart and the first thing you do is look for a scooter. That's how mind altering. You can walk just fine, but you say, God damn, I'm walking Walmart. I just got to sit down, man. This is going to take a while. Give me a scooter, please. Shit. You okay? You need to go back there to crowd therapy so we can do inverted crowd therapy to get those brain cells back lighten up. We good? Yeah, I'm good. It's just certain parts of the fight I don't remember. Well, it only lasted a minute. What part? The first 10 seconds? The middle 20 seconds? What part of the fight you trying to remember? D Hodge is in the building. King Miss say comeback. I'm not saying he puts Pac-Man down with the body shot, but that will cause him to slow down significantly in the later rounds, which could possibly result in a stoppage. Absolutely. Damage, fatigue. Yes, sir. Absolutely. If Errol Spence is able to apply a strict body attack to Manny Pacquiao, being that he's older and he start breaking him down to the body without being lit up himself, because Spence can be touched by Pacquiao. And to be honest with you, I'm curious to know if Pacquiao still has some zip and some sting to his punches. Because even though he knocked down Keith Thurman once, I'm looking at this shit like I don't see him knocking down Errol Spence. I don't see it. I do visualize him touching Errol Spence, because Errol Spence has been known to get touched up and punched in the face. But I'm not able to visualize Manny Pacquiao dropping or sustaining a pace where he's breaking Errol Spence down and Errol Spence is stuck in the corner. He don't have nothing to do, and Manny Pacquiao is landing a motherfucking 20-punch combo. He got the cheat codes and everything. I don't know. I mean, Manny Pacquiao don't come off as a guy who's going to do that for me. Then, like how Spence was attempting to avoid the body shots coming in from Danny in their last fight, Pacquiao goes upstairs after he touches the body. That's how he stopped Thurman. Spence, beware. Spence is going to get touched in this fight. I truly believe it. I don't believe Pacquiao will drop him, but I will reiterate what I always say. Fatigue will absolutely seal and deliver knockouts. Because when a fighter gets fatigued and continue to take that punishment and they're not able to recover or get that second win, they may find themselves reclined and stretched out to the referee's serenade. You might find that shit. Wilder, the only fighter since Tyson, that literally changed your life live by turning you into a walking vegetable. Oh my God, man. I truly believe, man, Speak it, believe it, receive it. I truly believe, man, Tyson Fury can give us that same Bermain Stavern rematch energy in his trilogy against Tyson Fury. I truly believe that, man. I truly believe he can give us that same energy that he gave Bermain Stavern in a rematch. He walked through Bermain Stavern. EMT, please. EMT, EMT. You're needed ringside. EMT, EMT. You're needed ringside. Bermain Stavern is out and unconscious and also snoring. Please bring a mouthpiece. Wilder, the only fighter since Tyson that literally changed your life. Read that. King Mitch Pack would touch EJ something Danny and Mikey and Sean couldn't do until after Spence was uncomfortable. It all depends there, Mike. I look at it like this. All depends. I'm just curious to know what the gas tank. What's the gas tank? Are we running on this motherfucking this regular? You know, is Manny Pacquiao running on regular? I'm trying to see if he still has that diesel in him or he running in regular. It has to come a day and time when your body just say no to you in the ring. Like, I can't do it no more. The punches just feel a little bit different. The sting is lasting a little bit longer. You're like, oh man, god damn. Man, I remember I used to take these motherfuckers. Shit. I did core exercises. Why the fuck these motherfuckers lingering around like that? If that's the case with Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence is able to break him down, then it won't be the first time he's been knocked out. I think his corner will stop the fight before he hit the canvas. Seriously, I truly believe that his corner throw in the towel. While the retirement home has a lot of residents. D. Hodges said, Wilder retirement home. Yeah, man. Fighters who come in there and fight Wilder, man, on the contract, you have to check that them 3 boxes. And they pretty much tell you you have 3 locations on where you can apply for assisted living. You can apply for assisted living, goddamn it, once you leave the ring. And you may have short memory loss. You know, when it comes down to this, the minimal EDU you need for psychology. Those of you that pretty much took up psychology in college, like I did, but it comes down to the left and right hemisphere. You know what I'm saying? And Deontay Wilder, he motherfucking crack you with the motherfucking right hand. He hit you in the left hemisphere. That left hemisphere damaged the right side of your body. So you see Deontay Wilder's opponents, 3 to 5 years from now. And their right hand is jacked up. That's because they experienced that Tuscaloosa. You know what I'm saying? That Tuscaloosa bumblebee. That's all that is. Michael Lewis Porter touched him a bit much. It was inside sparring style, and Porter power was questionable. Another thing that he did too, Mitch, was Porter was able to turn Spence easily whenever he felt like. He was turning Spence easily. I appreciate it. 36, I can count. He said 36, I can count. Porter has strength but no real punching power. Man, y'all better get off Porter, man. That's a good guy. That's the guy who, for the brothers who was out there going to the nightlife, Sean Porter pretty much forced us to, take some time off and let the shit blow over a little bit, because he took it upon himself as a black man in this world. Porter took it upon himself to put on a goddamn leprechaun hat and a suit. You know damn well, if you see a brother with those colors on and that hat, you clowning. Are you going to a Halloween, but a motherfucking cultural bar mitzvah? I mean, what are you going for? What are you going to in that shit? You set us back. And then on top of that, I sent Sean Porter a DM. Ask anybody who was at the celebrity boxing, the guy who was doing the commentary and the interviews for celebrity boxing. I tied that young man's tie. I said, man, your tie, it can be way better than that, man. Just take it off. He said, it's not a clip on. I said, bro, take it off. I'm a tie your shit. I knew how to tie ties, what, 10 years old? I said, give me your tie. Made that shit nice and got that knot small, cinched it up, put that little crease in there. And his shit was on point. I sent Sean Porter a DM. I say, hey, Showtime. Just let me get at you right quick with them ties, bro. All you have to do is just send me a group of them. I tie them all the same way, and all you have to do is just take them out, put them on. But having a knot the size of my fist, that's not cool, bro. You setting us back even more. Wearing those bright ass fucking colors. I know it's somewhere in the Constitution. It's certain colors don't look right on us. And that lime green, that leprechaun green you had, who the fuck looked you over before you came out in that? And then you come in there wearing plaids and polka dots together and all this. I said, what the fuck is this dude doing? Is he seeing spots? Does he have glaucoma? What the fuck, dog? What are you doing? Let me get off Showtime, man. For real. I can see Manny's corner throwing in the towel. I also could see Spence getting surprised early and thrown off a step. Not a knockdown. Ty G Porter turned Spence with no problem. I know Manny could do it. I agree, man. Manny's still strong. And for those of you that really never seen Manny Pacquiao, Manny has those wheels that's truly blessed for boxers. Manny calves. He may have some of the biggest calves in boxing. Manny calves is damn near the width of your damn laptop. Manny has some big ass calves, man. And let's see how much how much air he can keep in those wheels and dealing with Errol Spence, because I truly believe I would be remiss to not to think that Errol Spence is going to come out here and pressure the older guy. If Errol Spence come out here playing around with Manny, keeping his distance, doing a lot of feint jabs and posturing, I say, man, he's trying to move around with Pacquiao. He don't want to go ahead and embarrass Pacquiao. So he's going to move around. He's going to turn it up in the 6th or 7th round. You know what I'm saying? They might just move around the first half of the fight. Let each other get off and all this other shit that we've been seeing in boxing. And then at the end, Manny Pacquiao may give us the Ivan Red Catch limited edition. He may give us the Red Catch limited edition. He may give us the goddamn Amir Khan Platinum catalog. Both of these guys were hit with phantom punches, but they're acting. Oh my God. Please wrap that up quick. Wrap that Oscar up quick. Put it in that damn parcel and ship it out. But good point there, Lewis. Good point. Andrew Charles said, I'm driving, cracking up, man. That shit is wild, man. For real. Like, come on, man. Come on. You know what it is. Mike say, Sean from Cleveland. So is Steve Harvey. As an Ohio ambassador, I apologize for him and Steve. Man, one thing, I'm just saying, Sean Porter is in front of the viewers all the time in boxing. He's very knowledgeable, and he's accomplished what he's been able to accomplish in the sport of boxing. But then when it comes to those motherfucking ties, is nobody there that can just give him some wisdom? I seen Andre Ward in person. He don't have no motherfucking goddamn knot the size of your fist. He don't have a fist knot up in that motherfucker. Andre Ward be dressing style down, man. Should be clean. Timothy Bradley. He can lean over there and say, "Hey, bro, who motherfucking tying your tie, dog? A little person? Like who's tying your tie, bro? That shit is too big." Pac-Man calves are bigger than his head. They both grown considerably through the years. I won't accuse him, but yeah, man. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao. I guess Mitch wanted to mince his words. He wanted to use the censorship today and tell him for what it is. But Mitch, you need to keep it clear. Come on now. Keep the clarity where it's supposed to be. We all know that it was problem with, supposedly him not taking or being tested for the Lucas Matisse fight. You know what I'm saying? Him potentially not being tested for the Adrian Broner fight, nor the Keith Thurman fight. And plus, it's been other situations where, supposedly he was on some shit, but allegedly on some shit. You know what I'm saying? We can say what we want. Come on, local sports in the building. Salute to you, my brother. What's good? 79 boxing. Manny gonna get countered jumping in with them skippity paps. Spence gonna go in, and he did against Mikey Garcia. One thing I can say about Mikey Garcia and Manny Pacquiao, they are no way alike. You know what I'm saying? They're no way alike. Like, let's think about it. Mikey Garcia fought Robert Easter, knocked him down in the third, and he still wasn't able to finish Robert Easter. So, that's not the same. It would be good to see a Manny Pacquiao, Mikey Garcia, but no. Mikey Garcia isn't a Manny Pacquiao. Hell to the no. At least Steve Harvey has the excuse being an old dude. Porter just on some other shit. He is. I think I have an idea who's tying his tie. It might be somebody in his immediate family, because it cannot be a stylist that's at the fight and they're not giving Sean Porter the mirror and saying, hey, Showtime, check this shit out, man. How you like that tie, dog? You feeling it? Yeah. Yeah, my nigga. Yeah, you did the damn thing. I like it. Every time you tie this tie and I see it in the mirror and it look like two fists at the high guard, I say, God damn it, he did it again. Yes, I like it. No, we don't. Pac-Man grew the Barry Bonds skull. Man, y'all better get off Pac-Man trying to accuse him of being needle fluent. Y'all trying to say Manny Pacquiao is needle fluent. Is that y'all trying to say? Y'all trying to say that somehow, some way, Manny Pacquiao has experienced and has completed his core credits for needleology. The needleology. Manny Pacquiao has completed his core credits for needleology. That's what y'all trying to say? He's a needleologist. He knows what gauge of needle to use. I get it. I would say it. Pac-Man been juicing. Damn. He finally comes out and say he believes, allegedly, Pac-Man has been juicing. I remember when I was saying that shit up here. People was up here like, man, what are you talking about, man? Why you talking that about Pacquiao? You hating. I know what is hateful is too many of the U.S. boxing fans pick a neighboring fighter to support heavy, and the fighter haven't did anything in the sport comparable to the ones they already have right here in their nesting egg. You know what I'm saying? They haven't did anything. But they sit up here, man. I like old boy over there in Kakistan. I like it, man. You know, I like so and so over there. You know, I like the Brit. Yeah, the Brit fighter. Yeah, I like Scotland. I like Josh Taylor. I like Josh Taylor. He wanted to be a thug. He wanted to have thug life tattooed across his motherfucking chest. Once he got them, went up there and pushed Jose Ramirez and told him he gonna knock him out, then win the ring and dropped him like it was hot. I give him his props. He won. Josh Taylor won. I give him his props. He did. Porter tying his ties with the massive overbite. So basically what you were saying, right, that Porter is putting a part of the tie in his mouth and he's trying to loop that shit around. That's not how you tie that shit. That's not how you tie a Windsor. That's not how you do it, Porter. I will tie your tie for free of charge. I wonder why people with more than 4 colors. I have no idea, man. They on TV. They just want to be seen. They want you to talk about it like I'm doing. Now, Porter be looking extra sometimes. Plus, you got them damn teeth too. See a strange guy out there. See, I don't even talk. That's not something I do. Like talk about a dude's teeth, hair. So be it. That's just not something I do. Like I know what you're talking about. I knew it looked like Porter can go take a bite out of a redwood. You know what I'm saying? A full blown redwood. Porter might be out there and say, okay, go ahead. He might be goddamn chewing on that motherfucker like a beaver, goddamn, just taking chunks out that bitch. But hey, I don't talk about dudes like that. That's their personal shit. More than 3 was weird. If Spence truly wanted the KO, Derrick James will have the game plan shot for him to do it. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Because once again, that Mitch, Errol Spence is in no way, shape, or form a knockout artist. All right. They say he was in some of the best shape and he was hitting hard after he came back from his accident. He didn't knock down Danny Garcia. He didn't knock down Danny Garcia. He didn't knock down Mikey Garcia. He didn't knock down Sean Porter. Errol Spence has average power, but the accumulation of the volume and the pace that he sets in the ring will give fighters trouble. You have to be able to sustain a steady pace to do work. And you have to start to degrade your opponent's ability, disrupt their rhythm, and start working towards that knockout. Let the knockout come. If you didn't know, Floyd Mayweather said, I have no strategy for Logan Paul. All right. Floyd Mayweather has came out and said, and this is like what, less than 2 weeks, right? Made a good decision for boxing fans not to purchase his June 6th exhibition. Okay, hold up. Floyd Mayweather Jr. made a good reason for boxing fans not to purchase his June 6th expedition match against YouTuber Logan Paul. Just bear with me, y'all. Just bear with me, because this is TBE we talking about. He said it's disturbing that the 44-year-old Mayweather is willing to openly admit that his bout against the popular 27-year-old YouTuber Logan Paul isn't designed to be competitive. Once again, isn't designed to be competitive. Once again, isn't designed to be competitive. It's basically telling you it's an exhibition bout and it's not going to be competitive. It's just going to be them moving around. Logan is a cruiserweight, so he got the potential to hurt Mayweather if he lands one of the shots with full force. With that said, Logan doesn't possess the kind of power that you've seen from top 15 cruiserweight, and he doesn't hit as hard as his young brother Jake Paul. This is Mayweather. No strategy. I just have to show up, said Mayweather when asked what his strategy is for the Logan Paul fight. If I wanted to go one round, it'll go one round. So let me ask y'all this. Do you believe Floyd can stop Logan Paul in one round with fragile hands the way he does? Do you believe Floyd can stop Logan Paul in one round? Moving on. If I want it to go two, it will go two. It's all up to me, said Mayweather, sounding proud. It's hard to know what kind of victory Mayweather can get beating up a guy that talks for a living on YouTube. The only idea there is so odd that it's hard even to contemplate the fight being staged as a live event, much less sold on PPV. I agree. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. You're gonna have people tune in and pay for it. Seriously. The fight that I'm seeing out here buzzing a little bit. I hope Jamal Charlo is able to lock this in. That's a fight between him and Gennady Golovkin. That'll be a good fight between Jamal Charlo and Gennady Golovkin. That'll be solid because he's been over there twiddling his thumb. He looked okay in his last fight, but when it comes down to it, what? That would be a big name on Jamal Charlo's card facing Gennady Golovkin. Now, of course, we will want to see Jamal Charlo step up to 168 and fight somebody like a Benavidez, but that's a very dangerous fight for Jamal Charlo. But I'm saying, if you feel that you got the skills to make it happen, then go in there and leave it on the line. Go in there and make it happen. It's going to be big either way. Nobody KOing Danny, a granite chin, and unwilling to really be in danger zone for long. Pac-Man with all the jumping in shit has shown us he can get timed and slept. I believe Floyd can, but I highly doubt he stopped Logan in round one. I think somehow, some way he can get the ref to stop it. But these guys are cruiserweight. These guys are big. Does Floyd Mayweather still have that that strength, man? I know he can break him down. I know he's a boxing genius. I know he can land the shots. But does he have the consistency to break these dudes down? Dudes like Logan Paul and Jake Paul, who is cruiserweight, who's walking around like 190. Is Floyd Mayweather capable of saying, you know what, I can make this happen, and then I'm going to come back and hit you in the head 2 times and fight his brother Jake Paul 2 times? So in the meantime, they're going to give Jake Paul who they're going to give him, and they're going to, assume that he's going to defeat him. And then you may see Mayweather and freaking Jake Paul down the road. Real talk. I want Maul to unify at least 2 belts before he leaves the division. Okay, if you want Maul to unify 2 belts, it's only 2 names I want to see him fight then. Obviously. 1, Demetrius Andrade. Next would be Gennady Golovkin. That's it. You get the IBF title and you get the WBO title. That's it. No Yoda Murata. But then again, if Maul unify against Andrade and Gennady Golovkin, he might well go over there and fight Murata. Why not pick up an undisputed? He'll be 2-weight champion and undisputed division champion. You can't stop that shit, bro. Come on, man. Don't let me start going to my scenarios now. I already told you months and months ago, one of the biggest fights in boxing will be Charlo versus Charlo. That's one of the biggest fights in boxing. I believe Floyd can, but I highly doubt it's stopping. I want Maul to unify. Spence might not have the power to get Manny's respect. If EJ don't, and Manny is still on the stuff in shape, how's Air Volume Punches not going to be a liability? True. How's it not going to be a liability, man? How? I mean, how's the testing like for Manny Pacquiao? Is he exempt? Because I'd be damn, Adrian Broner wasn't on here saying, "Hey man, ain't nobody did shit, man. I ain't got tested, dog. Hey man, where everybody at, man? Stop playing. When I'm gonna get tested, man? I ain't got tested, nothing. Adrian on there talking that shit. They don't want to talk about that, Mike. They don't want to talk about that shit right there. They don't want to talk about how Manny, at his age and how many divisions he's competed in, knocked out several times. 62 victories, 7 defeats, y'all. And you think that man's body isn't tired? Floyd punched that kid on the elbow, might shatter his hand. Yeah, man. I mean, these some young dudes, man. They some them Paul brothers and Goof Paul brothers, man. They some young dudes. Real talk. They some young dudes. They got that. They got some strength. I don't like Mayweather versus Paul. Never did like the idea. It's bad. I don't like it. I agree. Tell me what y'all thought about Kenneth Sam Jr. and Elvis Rodriguez finally being forced to place the guitar back in the case for another day. A devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. Goddamn Kenneth went down to goddamn and stole the soul. He went in there and gave Elvis Rodriguez that work. You're gonna get this work. What did Loaded Luck say? You're gonna get this work. Let me work. Let me work. He's getting this work. He think this shit is all pretty. Elvis, you are getting this work tonight. Took that L. I'm pretty sure he'll be back better than ever. But he took that L. It's boxing at the end of the day. The sweet sign is a beautiful lady. Woo! Goddamn, the sweet signs, boy. The sweet signs ain't nothing to play with. Even on the juice, Pac-Man slows down in later rounds. His power also always carries, but his feints get slower. His feet seem heavier. Yeah, and then you have to factor in that he's probably using his thought process and IQ much more when he starts to fatigue. You know what I'm saying? Because Manny is a smart fighter. Make no mistake about it. Manny Pacquiao is a smart-ass fighter. He's been around the game for a while. Manny is a smart-ass fighter. So when he starts to tire, fatigue, and them big-ass calves become freshly hardened cinder blocks, he's like, oh, shit. Coach, get the hammer. You need to tap on these motherfuckers. I can barely move in here. Adrian did say and still says that they didn't test him for that fight. Yeah, man, Adrian gonna keep that shit a buck, man. Adrian told him, man, they didn't come test me. But that Gennady Golovkin fight, yes. For Marcelo, yes. So let me go back to this right quick before I forget it. I want to talk about the capacity of this fight between Wilder and Fury, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. The promo is going to be sick, I believe. I'm not sure how they're going to do it because it's no friendly game. It's no Deontay Wilder, hey, I'm helping you out, man. Just get yourself together. He did that already. This is personal. So anyway, Deontay can win this fight considering that he have had 17 months to learn from his loss to Fury. The first key point to grasp on why Wilder will be improved is because his right bicep is healthy after surgery. Okay. You're getting knocked out end of one round. You're going. So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to tap in with the boxing heads, the WCS supporters, because once again, we have Tyson Fury saying you're going to get knocked out in one round. I want to ask y'all, do you believe 0.00% of that, what he just said? Tyson Fury say he's knocking out Deontay Wilder in 1 round. I cannot give any examples of scenarios. I cannot bring myself to even scenario base the bullshit he just said. Moving on, Wilder fought Fury with a torn bicep. No. Don't put no injuries up in there now, because every time you put an injury report up here, people want to frown upon it. They say Wilder fought Fury with a torn bicep the last time they fought, which took away a considerable amount of his power. While it's rare for fighters to be 100% healthy for their fights, it's critical if their primary weapon is unavailable to be used. That makes sense. That right hand is just crucial. The right hand is just so belligerent. It's a cantankerous type of tool. In a nutshell, Fury fought a one-armed Wilder. Boxing 24 is once again whoever they seem like they're converting back over. Who only had his left hand working a full strength, Wilder has never developed any power in his left, unfortunately. How is that the case? And he dropped Fury with the left, bro. See, you're not watching boxing enough. He does have power in his left hand. Stop diluting for the lack of thereof. Do your research. I want to give Deontay Wilder a beatdown again. I want to show him who his boss is and who he works for, said Fury. After I smash him to bits, he can come to my camp and carry my packs, and give me a drink of water and beating rounds and sparring when I fight. Okay, anyway, they both a pair of bums. Okay, typical Tyson Fury, criticism. And I won't care who won because I'll smash the both of them on the same night, said Fury when asked who wins in the fight between Joshua and Wilder. Fury didn't want to fight Wilder again, though, as it took a court order from an arbitrator to force him to give him the rematch. Since being ordered by the arbitrator to give Wilder the rematch, Fury has seemed bitter about it. So just keep your eyes peeled on this situation as it continues to play out. Real talk. It's a grand topic. You know what I'm saying? I want to ask y'all one last question. I want to ask you this right here. Do you believe that Errol Spence will end Manny Pacquiao's career in raw, destructive form? Do you believe when they say you're going to retire something? We already know Manny Pacquiao's heading out the door. But do you believe that Errol Spence is the guy to retire Manny Pacquiao in such a way that he stops him? That's the only way you can retire him now. You can give a beating, but retiring somebody is just straight up stopping them, sending them home, sending them to the showers over. You stop them, say you're done. You ain't fighting no more. And then you get the post-fight announce, hey, you come over here for a second. Let me ask you. You're 43 years old. You had a Hall of Fame career. And tonight, Errol Spence beat the shit out of you, right? Do you believe you're retired now? Yeah, for sure, I'm retired. I did everything. 8th division champion, I'm retired. Yes, absolutely. Were you retired before you even answered the first bell? And did you feel yourself being retired? No, I came in here to win. I thought I could win, but my leg, my calf, my leg was cinder blocks. I mean, it was so heavy. I said, why my leg is so heavy? Blood clot, bumper clot, something was going on. I don't know what was going on with my leg. So yeah, my body wasn't acting right. It's not an excuse though. I beat him. I beat that boy. I beat him. We all know I beat him. Yeah, classic. I did it for the hood. Robert Garcia said, Pac-Man stopped Spence. Meanwhile, all the fighters fight the same. That's why they lose the bigger fighter. Easy plan for solid trainer, though. Okay, since you posted it. Sometimes I hear Robert Garcia say some things as of late, and all I can think about is Prevagen. Somebody need to get him a bottle of Prevagen, so he can start thinking accordingly. Because somehow, some way, man, instead of General Bob being punched in the head, I truly believe he's taking some shots in there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. When he was holding the mitts, I think, his timing might be off a little bit, and some of them boxers have been getting off, popping them in the head, because like Mitch said, a lot of his fighters do fight the same. You got the same plan. I don't want to give you that Abel Sanchez stigma, but a lot of your fighters fight the same now. Real talk. I don't think Spence will end his career like that. He could, but I don't see if Manny's destroyed, he can always come back for a light touch and get a win. I mean, what is he going to come back for? He's going to get less money. Why? He need to just leave. My leg, and my calf hurt. I'm going home and put some King Cobra blood mixed with some sloth piss. I like Robert Garcia. Yeah, I like him too. Y'all good, man. But my people, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you for pulling up. Once again, the bat signal is up. Bomb squad all day. I definitely will be back over here, but I have to return and go back in. Go back in with moms, man. It's been a pleasure. Appreciate everyone for pulling up, man. Y'all hold it down. Continue to pray for moms. As she, go through it and recover and everything. And I'll be back on sometime or another. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports, man.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try to catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom.